Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something very important. I want to talk about thinking fast and speaking smart. Many people want to speak English fluently, but they stop when it is time to talk. They know words. They understand grammar. They can read books and watch videos. But when someone speaks to them in English, their mind becomes empty. They feel nervous. They start thinking too much. Then they forget even simple words. This happens to many learners. You are not alone. I also faced this problem when I was learning English. I remember one day when someone asked me a simple question in English. The question was very easy, but I became nervous. I knew the answer in my mind, but I could not speak quickly. I stayed quiet for many seconds. Then I answered very slowly. After that moment, I felt sad. I thought maybe I was not good at English, but later I understood something important. Speaking English is not only about knowing words. It is also about training your mind to think quickly. Your brain needs practice. When you practice every day, your mind becomes faster. Slowly, you stop translating every word. You start understanding naturally, and speaking becomes easier. So today, I want to share some simple ways to think fast and speak smart in English. These tips are very simple, but they can change your speaking skills if you practice them every day. First, stop trying to make perfect sentences. This is one of the biggest problems for English learners. Many learners want every sentence to be perfect before they speak. Because of this, they spend too much time thinking. They worry about grammar. They worry about mistakes. Then they become slow. When I was learning English, I also wanted perfect sentences. Before speaking, I checked every word in my mind. This made me nervous. One day, my friend told me something important. She said, "Speak first, correct later." That advice changed me. I started speaking with simple sentences. Sometimes my grammar was wrong, but I kept talking. Slowly, my confidence became stronger. So remember this. Communication is more important than perfection. If people understand you, that is already a success. Don't stop yourself because of fear. Speak with the words you know. Another important tip is to use simple English. Many learners think smart speaking means using difficult words. That is not true. Smart speaking means clear speaking. Simple words are powerful. Simple words are powerful. Native speakers also use simple words in daily life. For example, instead of trying to use long and difficult words, you can use short and clear sentences. You can say, "I am happy today." You can say, "I need some help." These sentences are simple, but they are useful. Simple English helps you speak faster because your brain does not need too much time to think. I remember meeting a man who spoke English very clearly. His sentences were short and simple, but everyone understood him easily. That day, I learned something important. Speaking smart is not about difficult vocabulary. It is about confidence, clarity, and speed. Another helpful tip is to think in small sentences. Many learners try to create long sentences in their minds. This makes speaking harder. Instead, train yourself to think in short ideas. all was. For example, if someone asks about your day, you do not need a very long answer. You can simply say, "My day was good. I worked in the morning. Then I watched a movie." These are short sentences, but they keep the conversation moving. When I started using short sentences, speaking became much easier for me. My mind stopped feeling heavy. I could answer quickly without fear. Slowly, my speaking speed improved. Another powerful habit is talking to yourself in English. This is one of the best ways to train your brain. You do not need a partner all the time. You can practice alone anywhere. When you wake up in the morning, describe your actions in English. You can say, "I am brushing my teeth. I am making tea. I am getting ready for work." This simple habit trains your mind to think faster in English. I used to talk to myself while walking outside. I described the people, the weather, and the things around me. At first, it felt strange, but later it became natural. This habit helped me stop translating from my language to English. My thoughts started coming directly in English. Another important thing is listening. Fast thinking comes from strong listening. When you listen to English every day, your brain learns sentence patterns naturally. You begin to understand how people answer questions quickly. I listened to English stories every night before sleeping. At first, I understood only a little, but I continued listening. Slowly, my brain became familiar with English sounds and sentences. One day, I noticed something surprising. I started answering questions faster without translating. Listening had trained my brain. So listen to English every day. Listen to podcasts, stories, interviews, or conversations. Even 15 minutes every day can help you a lot. Another useful exercise is shadowing. Shadowing means listening to someone speaking English and repeating the words immediately. This exercise improves both speaking speed and pronunciation. I practiced shadowing with short videos. I listened to one sentence and repeated it quickly. Quickly. Sometimes I copied the speaker's voice and style. This exercise made my speaking smoother and faster. At first, I made many mistakes. Sometimes I could not keep up with the speaker, but I continued practicing every day. After some weeks, I noticed big improvement. My mouth became faster, and my confidence grew stronger. Another thing you should remember is not to fear silence. Sometimes you may need a few seconds to think. That is okay. Even native speakers pause sometimes. Do not panic if you need a moment. Stay calm and continue speaking. I remember feeling nervous whenever there was silence in a conversation. I thought people would judge me, but later I realized something important. Most people are patient. They care more about communication than perfect speaking. So relax. Take a small breath, then continue speaking. Confidence grows when you stop fearing small mistakes and small pauses. Lastly, remember that fast thinking is a skill. It does not happen overnight. Your brain needs time and practice. Every small conversation helps you improve. Every mistake teaches you something new. I was once a nervous learner who could not answer simple questions quickly. But step by step, I improved. I practiced every day. I listened, spoke, repeated, and stayed patient. Slowly, my speaking became natural. You can also do this. Believe in yourself. Keep practicing every day. Your mind will become faster, and your English will become smarter. Chapter 2. Train your mind to think in English. First, they think in their own language. Then they translate the sentence into English. After that, they speak. This process takes time, and it makes speaking slow. It also makes people nervous during conversations. If you want to speak English faster, you must slowly train your brain to think directly in English. I remember when I started learning English. Every sentence felt difficult. If someone asked me a question, I first translated the question in my mind. Then I thought about the answer in my own language. After that, I tried to change the answer into English. It was very tiring. By the time I was ready to speak, the conversation had already moved on. One day, I decided to change my learning style. I stopped focusing only on grammar books. Instead, I started training my mind to think in English. At first, it was not easy. My mind always wanted to go back to my own language, but I kept practicing. Every day, slowly, something amazing happened. English started feeling more natural. So today, I want to share some simple ways to help you think in English naturally. First, start with small thoughts. Many learners make a big mistake. They try to think about difficult topics in English too early. Then they become frustrated. Start with easy things. Think about your daily life in simple English. For example, when you wake up in the morning, think simple sentences like, I am tired. I need water. Today is sunny. These are very easy sentences, but they are powerful practice for your brain. When I started doing this, I felt slow in the beginning. Sometimes I forgot words. Sometimes I mixed languages in my mind. But I did not stop. Every day, my thoughts became a little faster. Slowly, my brain started choosing English words automatically. Another good exercise is describing things around you. Look at objects near you and describe them in English. You can describe your room, your clothes, your food, or even the weather. I used to sit near my window and describe everything I saw. I said things like, the sky is blue. A man is walking outside. The children are playing. This small habit improved my thinking speed a lot. It trained my mind to create English sentences quickly. Another helpful tip is to stop translating every word. Translation makes speaking slower. Instead of translating, connect English words directly to ideas and pictures in your mind. For example, when you hear the word apple, do not think about the word in your language first. Instead, imagine the fruit directly. This helps your brain understand English naturally. I practice this every day with simple words. When I heard the word car, I imagined a car. When I heard the word happy, I imagined a smiling face. Slowly, my brain stopped needing translation. English started becoming more natural inside my mind. Another important habit is listening carefully to English conversations. Listening trains your brain to understand English quickly. The more you listen, the faster your mind becomes. I listen to short English conversations every day. Sometimes I listened while walking. Sometimes I listened before sleeping. At first, I understood very little, but I continued. Slowly, my understanding improved. I noticed that my brain started recognizing common sentences automatically. For example, when someone said, "How are you?" I no longer translated it. My brain understood it instantly. This made conversations faster and easier. Another powerful method is repeating sentences out loud. When you repeat sentences many times, your brain remembers them naturally. Later, during conversations, those sentences come out quickly without too much thinking. I practiced repeating short sentences every day. I said things like, "I am going to the market. I like this movie. What are you doing?" I repeated them many times until they became natural. One day, I noticed something surprising. During a real conversation, these sentences came out of my mouth automatically. I did not need to think too much. That was the moment I understood the power of repetition. Another helpful exercise is asking yourself questions in English. Then answer them in English too. This is a very powerful way to train your speaking mind. For example, ask yourself simple questions like, "What did I eat today? What do I want tomorrow? What is my favorite movie?" Then answer them with short sentences. I practice this exercise every night before sleeping. Sometimes I asked myself funny questions just for practice. It made learning fun and relaxed. Slowly, my answers became faster and more natural. Another thing you should do is learn common English phrases. Instead of single words only, phrases help you speak faster. Because your brain remembers whole sentence patterns. For example, instead of learning only the word tired, learn the phrase, "I am very tired today." Instead of learning only the word hungry, learn, "I am hungry right now." And I started learning English in phrases, and it changed my speaking completely. During conversations, I did not need to build every sentence from zero. My brain already knew many useful patterns. Another important thing is staying relaxed while speaking. Fear blocks your mind. Nervousness makes thinking slower. If you stay calm, your brain works better. I remember feeling nervous whenever I spoke English with strangers. My heart beat fast, and my mind became empty. But then I learned something important. Confidence grows through practice, not perfection. So I stopped trying to sound perfect. I focused only on communication. Slowly, my fear became smaller. My thoughts became clearer, and speaking became easier. Another useful tip is reading simple English stories. Stories help your brain understand sentence flow naturally. They also improve your imagination in English. I read simple stories every day. Some stories were funny. Some were emotional. While reading, I imagined the scenes in my mind. This helped me think directly in English instead of translating. Over time, I noticed that my thoughts were becoming more natural. English words started appearing in my mind automatically during daily life. Another thing that helped me was using English during normal activities. When cooking, cleaning, walking, or shopping, I tried to think in English. Small daily practice is very powerful. For example, while cooking, I said things like, "I am cutting vegetables." The food smells good. During shopping, I thought, I need to buy milk. These simple thoughts trained my brain every day. Slowly, English became part of my daily life, instead of just a school subject. Lastly, remember that thinking in English takes time. Do not feel sad if it feels difficult in the beginning. Every learner struggles at first. The important thing is consistency. Practice a little every day. I once believed I would never think naturally in English, but step by step, my brain changed. Through daily listening, speaking, reading, and thinking, English became easier and more comfortable. You can do the same. Be patient with yourself. Keep practicing daily. One day, you will notice something wonderful. English thoughts will come naturally into your mind, and speaking will become faster and smarter. Chapter 3. Speak without fear. We are going to talk about one of the biggest problems English learners face. We will talk about fear. Fear stops many people from speaking English. Some people know many words. Some people understand grammar very well. But when it is time to speak, fear takes control of their mind. Their hands become cold. Their heart starts beating faster. Their voice becomes weak. Sometimes they forget simple words that they already know. This happens because they are afraid of making mistakes. They are afraid people will laugh at them. They are afraid of sounding wrong. I understand this feeling very well because I also faced it when I was learning English. I remember one day when I had to introduce myself in front of a group. I practiced. I knew what I wanted to say, but when I stood in front of everyone, my mind became empty. I forgot simple sentences. I spoke very slowly, and I felt embarrassed afterward. Fick me. That moment made me sad, but later I realized something important. Fear is normal. Almost every English learner feels nervous in the beginning. The problem is not fear itself. The real problem is allowing fear to stop you from practicing. So today, I want to share some simple ways to speak English without fear. So today, first, understand that mistakes are part of learning. Nobody speaks perfectly in the beginning. Even children make mistakes when learning their first language. Mistakes are not proof that you are bad at English. Mistakes are proof that you are learning. When I finally accepted this truth, my confidence started growing. I stopped trying to sound perfect. Instead, I focused on communication. If people understood my message, I felt successful. One day, I made a grammar mistake while talking to someone in English. I felt nervous, but something surprising happened. The person still understood me, and the conversation continued normally. That day, I realized most people care more about communication than perfect grammar. So do not fear mistakes. Learn from them and continue speaking. Another important thing is to stop comparing yourself to others. Many learners lose confidence because they compare their English to fluent speakers. They think, my English is bad. I speak too slowly. Others are better than me. I also used to compare myself to others. I listened to fluent speakers and felt discouraged. But later, I understood something important. Every person has a different journey. Some people started learning earlier. Some people practice more. Everyone improves at their own speed. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to your past self. Think about how much you have already improved. Maybe last year you could not make simple sentences, but now you can have small conversations. That is progress. Be proud of every small improvement. Another powerful way to remove fear is practicing in safe situations first. Do not wait for big conversations. Start small. For example, practice speaking alone in your room. Practice with a mirror. Practice with close friends. These small situations help your confidence grow slowly. I spent many days talking to myself in English. At first, it felt strange, but it helped me become comfortable with speaking. Then I started speaking with one friend. Later, I became confident enough to speak with strangers. Confidence grows step by step. Small practice creates big improvement. Another helpful tip is smiling while speaking. This may sound simple, but it really helps. When you smile, your body feels more relaxed. Your mind becomes calmer, and speaking feels easier. I noticed this during conversations. Whenever I smiled, I felt less nervous. My voice became clearer, and my thoughts came faster. A relaxed mind works better than a stressed mind. Another important thing is breathing slowly when you feel nervous. Many learners panic during conversations. Their breathing becomes fast, and this makes thinking harder. Before speaking, take one slow breath. Relax your shoulders. Then speak slowly and clearly. You do not need to rush. Calm speaking sounds smarter than fast, nervous speaking. I remember practicing this before presentations. I took a deep breath and reminded myself to stay calm. This small habit helped me control my fear. Another powerful method is using prepared sentences. Many daily conversations follow common patterns. If you practice these patterns, speaking becomes easier. For example, practice simple introductions like, "Hello, my name is Ahmed. I am from Pakistan. I like reading books." These prepared sentences help your brain feel ready during conversations. I practiced common conversation patterns every day. I repeated greetings, questions, and answers many times. Later, during real conversations, these sentences came naturally. Another helpful thing is listening to people who speak simple English. Some learners listen only to very advanced speakers. Then they feel discouraged because they cannot understand everything. When I was learning, I started with simple English videos and stories. This helped me build confidence slowly. As my skills improved, I moved to harder content. Remember, learning should feel challenging but not impossible. Step-by-step progress is better than feeling overwhelmed. Another important thing is celebrating small victories. Many learners focus only on mistakes and forget their progress. But every small success matters. Did you speak one sentence today? Celebrate it. Did you understand a short video? Celebrate it. Did you learn 5 new words? Celebrate it. I remember feeling proud after my first small conversation in English. The conversation was short and simple, but it gave me confidence. That small success motivated me to continue practicing. Another helpful tip is recording your voice. Many learners feel shy hearing themselves speak English, but recordings are very useful. I started recording my voice while reading English stories. At first, I noticed many mistakes in my pronunciation, but instead of feeling bad, I used the recordings to improve. After some weeks, I listened to my old recordings again. I was surprised by my progress. My pronunciation had improved, and my speaking sounded more natural. Recordings help you see your improvement clearly. They also make you more comfortable hearing your own English voice. Another important thing is using positive thoughts. Your mindset affects your confidence. If you always think, "My English is terrible," your fear becomes stronger. Instead, use encouraging thoughts. Tell yourself, "I am improving every day. Mistakes help me learn. I can become fluent with practice." I started using positive thoughts during my learning journey. Whenever I felt nervous, I reminded myself that fluency takes time. This helped me continue even during difficult days. Another powerful idea is understanding that nobody speaks perfectly all the time. Even native speakers forget words sometimes. Even fluent people make mistakes. Speaking naturally does not mean speaking perfectly. It means communicating comfortably and confidently. One day, I heard a fluent speaker make a small grammar mistake during a conversation. Nobody cared. The conversation continued normally. That moment taught me that perfection is not necessary for communication. Lastly, remember that courage grows through action. Waiting for confidence before speaking does not work. Confidence comes after practice, not before it. Every time you speak English, your fear becomes smaller. Every conversation trains your brain. Every mistake teaches you something new. I was once afraid to say even simple sentences in English. But step by step, I practiced. I spoke during uncomfortable moments, slowly. My fear disappeared, and my confidence became stronger. You can also become confident. Believe in yourself. Keep practicing every day. Speak even when you feel nervous. One day, you will look back and realize how far you have come. Chapter 2: Build confidence through daily practice. Confidence grows through daily practice. Just like exercising your body makes your muscles stronger. Practicing English every day makes your speaking stronger. Small, daily practice is more powerful than studying for many hours. Only once in a while, I learned this lesson during my own English journey. In the beginning, I studied only when I felt motivated. Some days I practiced a lot, other days I did nothing. Because of this, my progress was very slow. I forgot words easily, and speaking still felt uncomfortable. One day, I decided to change my habits. I promised myself that I would practice English every single day, even if only for a short time. Some days I practiced for 1 hour. Some days only for 15 minutes, but I did something every day. Slowly, I noticed a big difference. English stopped feeling strange. My mind became faster. My confidence started growing little by little. So today, I want to share some simple ways to build confidence through daily practice. First, create a simple daily routine. Many learners fail because their study plan is too difficult. They try to study for many hours every day. After some time, they become tired and stop completely. Instead, make your routine easy and realistic. Even 20 minutes every day, can create amazing improvement if you stay consistent. For example, you can listen to English for 10 minutes in the morning, then speak for 5 minutes at night. Simple routines are easier to follow for a long time. I started with very small goals. I listened to one short English story every day. Then I practiced speaking for a few minutes. These small habits slowly became part of my daily life. Another important thing is practicing speaking every day, even if you are alone. Many learners wait for a speaking partner, but you can improve a lot by practicing alone. I used to stand in front of a mirror and speak English. Sometimes I talked about my day. Sometimes I described my plans. Other times I simply practiced introducing myself again and again. At first, it felt uncomfortable. But after some weeks, speaking became more natural. My mouth became faster, and my confidence improved. Another helpful habit is reading English out loud. Reading silently is good, but reading out loud trains your pronunciation and speaking muscles. I read short English stories every night before sleeping. While reading, I focused on clear pronunciation. Sometimes I repeated difficult sentences many times. This practice improved my speaking rhythm and made my voice stronger. It also helped me become more comfortable hearing myself speak English. Do not practice only during study time. Bring English into your normal life. For example, while cooking, describe your actions in English. While walking outside, describe what you see. While cleaning your room, think simple English thoughts. I practiced English while doing small daily tasks. I said things like, I am washing my hands. The weather is very hot today. I need to buy some food. These simple sentences trained my brain every day. Slowly, English became part of my natural thinking process. Another important thing is listening every day. Listening trains your brain to understand English faster. It also improves pronunciation and sentence patterns. I listen to English podcasts while traveling. Sometimes I listen to stories while relaxing at home. Even when I understood only part of the conversation, I continued listening. After some months, I noticed something surprising. My understanding became faster, and speaking became easier because my brain had heard many English patterns already. Another good habit is learning useful phrases instead of single words only. Phrases help you speak naturally and quickly. For example, instead of learning only the word excited, learn the phrase, I am really excited about this. Instead of learning only difficult, learn. This is a little difficult for me. I started collecting useful English phrases in a notebook. Every day, I practiced using them in different situations. Later, these phrases came naturally during conversations. Another important thing is not being afraid of repetition. Some learners feel bored repeating the same sentences, but repetition is very powerful. I repeated common English sentences many times every day. Sometimes, I practiced the same introduction for 1 week. Sometimes I repeated one conversation many times. At first, it felt repetitive, but later those sentences became automatic. During real conversations, I could speak faster without thinking too much. Another useful habit is reviewing old lessons. Many learners learn new things every day, but forget old lessons quickly. I reviewed my old vocabulary and notes every week. This helped me remember words longer. It also showed me how much I was improving. When you review regularly, your English becomes stronger and more natural. Another helpful idea is setting small daily goals. Big goals can feel scary, but small goals keep you motivated. For example, today your goal can be learning 5 new words. Tomorrow, your goal can be speaking English for 10 minutes. Small goals are easier to complete, and they build confidence slowly. I used small goals during my learning journey. Every time I completed a goal, I felt proud. These small successes motivated me to continue practicing every day. Another important thing is staying patient with yourself. Some days your English will feel good. Other days you may feel slow or tired. This is normal. I remember days when I felt frustrated because I forgot simple words. Sometimes I thought I was not improving. But when I looked back after some months, I realized how much progress I had made. Learning a language is not a straight line. Some days feel easy, and some days feel difficult. The important thing is continuing forward. Another powerful tip is using English for fun. Fun 1. Do not make learning feel like punishment. Enjoy the process. Watch funny videos in English. Listen to songs. Read interesting stories. Play simple word games. Fun learning keeps your motivation strong. I loved watching English cartoons while learning. They made me laugh, and they also improved my listening skills. Because I enjoyed them, practicing English felt easy and relaxing. Another important habit is speaking slowly and clearly. Many learners try to speak too fast because they want to sound fluent. This creates stress and more mistakes. Slow speaking is okay. Clear speaking is more important than fast speaking. When I slowed down, my confidence improved. I had more time to think, and my sentences became clearer. Another useful exercise is recording short videos of yourself speaking English. You do not need to share them with anyone. They are only for practice. I recorded short videos talking about my hobbies, my day, and my future goals. Watching these videos helped me notice my mistakes and improvements. After some months, I could clearly see how much my speaking had improved. This gave me even more confidence. Lastly, remember this important truth. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build through action. Every day you practice, your fear becomes smaller. Every sentence you speak makes your English stronger. Every small effort matters. I was once a shy learner who felt nervous, speaking simple English sentences. But daily practice slowly changed me. My mind became faster, my speaking became smoother, my confidence became stronger. You can also improve step by step. Trust the process. Practice every day, even a little. One day, speaking English will feel natural and comfortable for you. Chapter 5. Learn to answer quickly. Whenever someone asked me a question, I became nervous. Even simple questions felt difficult. I wanted to answer perfectly, so I spent too much time thinking. Because of this, conversations felt stressful. One day, I realized something important. Fast answers come from practice, not from perfection. Your brain becomes quicker when you train it every day. So today, I want to share some simple ways to help you answer quickly and speak more naturally. First, learn common conversation questions. Daily conversations often repeat the same kinds of questions. If you practice these questions many times, your brain becomes ready to answer quickly. For example, practice questions like, "How are you? What do you do? Where are you from? What did you do today?" These questions are very common in conversations. I practiced answering these questions every day. I stood in front of my mirror and answered them again and again. At first, my answers were short and slow, but slowly, my brain became faster. Later, during real conversations, I answered naturally without too much thinking. Another helpful tip is keeping your answers simple. Many learners try to give very long answers immediately. Then, they become confused or nervous. Short answers are okay. For example, if someone asks, "What did you eat today?" you can simply say, "I ate rice and chicken." That answer is clear and natural. You do not need complicated sentences all the time. When I started using shorter answers, conversations became easier. I stopped putting too much pressure on myself. Slowly, my confidence improved, and my answers became longer naturally over time. Fender offense, rely. Another powerful method is practicing question and answer exercises every day. Ask yourself questions in English and answer them quickly. I practiced this exercise while walking outside. I asked myself random questions like, "What is my favorite movie? What do I want to learn? Where do I want to travel?" Then I answered immediately in English. At first, my brain felt slow, but after some weeks, I noticed improvement. My mind became quicker at creating English sentences. Another important thing is learning sentence patterns. English conversations often follow common structures. When you know these patterns, speaking becomes faster. For example, if someone asks about your hobbies, you can use patterns like "I enjoy," or "I like," or "I like." Dwarmeserding. If someone asks about your plans, you can say, "I want to," or "I am planning to." I learned many useful sentence patterns through listening and repetition. Later, during conversations, I could answer quickly because my brain already knew the structure. Another helpful habit is timing yourself. Give yourself only a few seconds to answer simple questions. This trains your brain to think faster. I used a timer during practice sessions. I gave myself 5 seconds to answer each question. At first, I struggled, but slowly my speaking speed improved. This exercise helped me stop overthinking. My brain learned to focus on communication instead of perfection. Another important thing is listening to real conversations. Listening helps your brain understand how fast conversations work. You learn how people respond naturally in different situations. I listen to interviews, podcasts, and simple English conversations every day. I paid attention to how people answered questions. Many answers were short, simple, and natural. This helped me understand that real conversations are not always perfect or complicated. Most people speak in simple and relaxed ways. Another useful tip is practicing with one topic every day. Choose one topic and answer many questions about it. For example, one day you can practice talking about food. Another day you can practice talking about movies or hobbies. I practice this exercise often. One day, I talked only about my daily routine. Another day, I answered questions about travel. Repeating topics helped my vocabulary become stronger and faster. Another important thing is staying calm during conversations. Nervousness slows your thinking. When you panic, your brain becomes confused. I remember feeling nervous whenever someone asked me unexpected questions. Sometimes my mind became completely empty. But later, I learned to stay calm and focus only on simple communication. If you do not know a perfect answer, that is okay. Use simple words. Keep speaking. Conversations do not need perfect grammar to continue. Another helpful habit is learning filler phrases. Filler phrases give your brain a little time to think while speaking naturally. For example, you can say, "Let me think." That's a good question. Well, these small phrases help conversations feel smoother. I started using filler phrases during conversations, and they helped me feel more relaxed. They gave me a few extra seconds to organize my thoughts. Another good exercise is shadowing conversations. Listen to short conversations and repeat them immediately. This improves your speaking rhythm and response speed. I practiced shadowing with English videos every day. I copied the speaker's voice, speed, and expressions. Sometimes I paused the video and answered questions myself before hearing the real answer. This exercise trained my brain to respond more quickly. Another powerful idea is thinking in English during daily life. Fast answers become easier when your brain already works in English. I practice thinking in English while doing normal activities. I described things around me and asked myself small questions throughout the day. Then, slowly, English thinking became more natural, and conversations felt less stressful. Another important thing is accepting pauses. Sometimes you may need 1 or 2 seconds to think. That is normal. Even native speakers pause during conversations. I used to panic whenever there was silence. I thought people would judge me, but later I realized short pauses are completely natural. So do not fear small pauses. Stay relaxed and continue speaking confidently. Another useful tip is practicing with a friend or language partner. Real conversations train your brain much better than silent study. I practiced English with one close friend every evening. We asked each other simple questions and tried to answer quickly. At first, our conversations were slow, but over time they became smoother and more natural. And practicing with another person helped me become comfortable with real conversations. Another important thing is celebrating small improvements. Maybe today you answered one question faster than yesterday. That is progress. Small improvements grow into big confidence over time. I remember feeling proud when I answered a stranger's question quickly for the first time. Why fun? It was a simple conversation, but it showed me that my practice was working. Lastly, remember that quick speaking is a skill. Your brain becomes faster through daily practice. Every question you answer trains your mind. Every conversation helps you improve. I was once a learner who became nervous during simple conversations. But step by step, I practiced answering questions every day. Slowly, my mind became quicker, and speaking became easier. You can also become a fast and confident speaker. Stay patient. Keep practicing. Focus on communication, not perfection. One day, you will answer naturally without fear or hesitation. Chapter 6. Turn English into a daily habit. If you want to speak English fluently, you must make English part of your daily life. When English becomes a habit, learning feels easier and more natural. I learned this lesson during my own journey. In the beginning, I waited for motivation before studying. Some days I felt excited to learn. Other days I felt lazy or tired. Because of this, my progress was very slow. One day, I decided to stop depending on motivation. Instead, I created small English habits that I could follow every day. These habits were simple, but they changed my speaking completely. So, today, I want to share some simple ways to turn English into a daily habit. First, connect English with activities you already do every day. This makes practice feel natural instead of difficult. For example, if you drink tea every morning, listen to English while drinking it. If you walk outside every evening, practice speaking English during your walk. If you use your phone a lot, change the language settings to English. I started listening to English podcasts every morning while eating breakfast. At first, I understood very little, but after some weeks, my listening improved naturally. Because it became part of my daily routine, I no longer needed motivation to practice. Another powerful habit is learning a few new words every day. You do not need to learn 50 words at once. Small daily learning is more effective. I started learning 5 new words every day. Then I used those words in sentences. Some days I forgot a few words, but because I practiced daily, my vocabulary slowly became stronger. For example, if I learned the word confident, I made sentences like, I want to become more confident. She sounds very confident. This helped me remember words naturally. Another important habit is speaking English every single day. Even 5. Many learners spend too much time reading grammar books but very little time actually speaking. Speaking is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. I practiced speaking every day, even when nobody was around. Sometimes I talked about my plans. Sometimes I described my room. Other times I spoke about my dreams and goals. At first, my speaking was slow and full of mistakes. But slowly, my sentences became smoother. Daily speaking practice trained my brain to think faster in English. Another useful habit is keeping an English journal, writing. Writing helps organize your thoughts and improves your sentence-building skills. Every night before sleeping, I wrote a few simple sentences in English. I wrote about my day, my feelings, and the things I learned. At first, my writing was very basic, but after some months, I noticed improvement. My sentences became clearer, and my vocabulary became bigger. Writing every day also helped me become more comfortable expressing myself in English. Another helpful habit is listening to English during free time. Many people spend hours watching videos or scrolling on their phones every day. You can use some of this time for English practice. I started watching short English videos during breaks. Sometimes I listened to stories while relaxing. These small moments added extra practice to my daily life. Slowly, English sounds became familiar to my ears. Understanding conversations became easier because my brain heard English regularly. Another important thing is creating a comfortable learning environment. If learning feels stressful all the time, you may lose motivation. I tried to make my English practice enjoyable. I watched funny videos. I listened to music I liked. I read stories that interested me. Because of this, learning felt fun instead of boring. When you enjoy learning, daily practice becomes much easier. Another powerful habit is reviewing regularly. Many learners learn new things but forget old lessons quickly. I reviewed my vocabulary and notes every weekend. This helped me remember words longer. It also showed me how much progress I was making. Reviewing old lessons strengthens your memory and builds confidence. Another helpful idea is setting small daily goals. Small goals keep you focused and motivated. For example, today your goal can be listening to one English story. Tomorrow your goal can be speaking English for 10 minutes. Small goals feel easier to complete. I used small goals during my learning journey. Completing these goals gave me confidence and made learning feel rewarding. Another important thing is avoiding long breaks from English. If you stop practicing for many weeks, your confidence becomes weaker. I learned this lesson the hard way. Once, I stopped practicing English for a long time because I became busy. When I returned, speaking felt difficult again. After that experience, I understood something important. Even small daily practice is better than stopping completely. Another useful habit is learning English phrases instead of single words only. Phrases help conversations feel natural and faster. For example, instead of learning only the word hungry, learn the phrase, I am getting hungry. Instead of learning only tired, learn I feel tired after work. I collected useful phrases in a notebook and reviewed them often. Later, these phrases came naturally during conversations. Another important thing is practicing pronunciation daily. Clear pronunciation makes communication easier and improves confidence. I practiced pronunciation by reading stories out loud every day. Sometimes I repeated difficult words many times until they felt natural. This daily practice improved my speaking rhythm and helped me sound clearer. Another helpful habit is using English with technology. There are many apps, videos, and online tools that can help you practice daily. I used language apps to practice vocabulary and listening. I also watched English videos with subtitles. Technology made learning more interactive and fun. Another powerful idea is thinking in English during daily life. Train your mind to use English naturally. For example, while cooking, think, I need more salt. While traveling, think, the road is busy today. Small thoughts create strong habits over time. I practiced this every day, and slowly, English became part of my natural thinking process. Another important thing is being patient with yourself. Habits take time to build. Some days you may feel tired or unmotivated. That is normal. I had difficult days too. Sometimes I felt frustrated because my progress seemed slow, but I continued practicing little by little. Over time, those small efforts created big improvement. Another useful habit is celebrating consistency. Do not focus only on perfect speaking. Be proud that you practiced today. I started feeling proud of my consistency instead of only my results. This mindset helped me continue even during difficult periods. Another helpful idea is surrounding yourself with English. The more English you see and hear, the more natural it becomes. I placed small English notes around my room. I followed English pages online. I listened to English music regularly. These small changes kept English present in my daily life. Lastly, remember this important truth. Fluency is not built in one day. It grows slowly through daily habits. Small practice may not feel powerful in the moment, but over time it creates amazing results. I was once someone who struggled to speak simple English sentences, but daily habits slowly changed my confidence, my thinking speed, and my speaking ability. You can also build strong English habits. Start small. Practice every day. Stay patient with yourself. One day, English will become a natural part of your life. Chapter 7. Become a smart and confident English speaker. Many people dream of speaking English fluently. They imagine talking confidently with others. They imagine understanding movies, speaking during interviews, traveling, and making new friends in English. These dreams are possible, but fluency does not happen in one night. It happens step by step through patience, practice, and confidence. I want you to remember something important. You do not need perfect English to become a smart speaker. Smart speaking is about expressing your ideas clearly and confidently. Some learners know difficult grammar rules, but still struggle during conversations because they are too afraid to speak. Real confidence comes from practice and experience. I remember how nervous I felt at the beginning of my English journey. I was afraid of mistakes. I spoke slowly, and sometimes my mind became completely empty during conversations. But slowly, through daily practice, everything changed. The biggest change happened when I stopped focusing only on being correct and started focusing on communication. I realized something important. Language is a tool for connection. People care more about understanding your message than hearing perfect grammar. One day, I had a long conversation in English with someone for the first time. My English was not perfect. I made mistakes, forgot words, and paused many times, but something amazing happened. The conversation continued naturally. We understood each other, and I felt proud of myself. That moment gave me confidence. It showed me that fluency is not about perfection. It is about courage and consistency. So today, I want to share some final lessons that can help you become a smart and confident English speaker. First, always believe in your progress. Sometimes learners focus too much on what they still cannot do. They forget how far they have already come. Maybe before, you could not understand English videos. Now you understand simple conversations. Maybe before, you were too afraid to speak. Now you can answer questions with confidence. These are important improvements. I started noticing my progress. When I looked back at my old notes and recordings, I realized my pronunciation had improved. My vocabulary had grown, and my speaking speed had become faster. This motivated me to continue learning. Another important thing is speaking with confidence, even when your English is simple. Confidence changes how people listen to you. I once met a man who used very simple English, but he spoke clearly and confidently. People enjoyed talking with him because he was relaxed and comfortable. That experience taught me something valuable. Confidence is more powerful than difficult vocabulary. So, speak proudly with the English you already know. Do not wait until you feel perfect. Start speaking now. Another powerful habit is staying curious. Smart speakers never stop learning. There are, always, new words, new expressions, and new ideas to discover. I stayed curious during my learning journey. Whenever I heard a new word, I wrote it down. Whenever I watched a movie or listened to a podcast, I paid attention to useful phrases. Curiosity kept learning exciting. It made English feel like an adventure instead of a difficult school subject. Another important lesson is using English in real life whenever possible. Real conversations teach you things that books cannot teach. I practiced English while traveling, shopping, and talking online. Sometimes the conversations were short. Sometimes they were difficult, but every conversation taught me something new. Real life. Practice improves confidence very quickly because your brain learns how to react naturally. Another helpful thing is learning to stay calm during conversations. Sometimes you may forget words or make mistakes. That is completely normal. I remember one conversation where I forgot a very simple word. For a moment, I felt nervous, but instead of stopping, I used different words to explain my idea. The other person understood me easily. That experience taught me that communication is flexible. If you forget one word, you can still explain yourself in another way. Another powerful idea is enjoying the process of learning. Some learners become too focused on reaching fluency quickly. Then they feel frustrated when progress feels slow. But language learning is a journey. Every new word is progress. Every conversation is progress. Every small success matters. I enjoyed learning English through stories, songs, videos, and conversations. Because I enjoyed the process, I stayed motivated for a long time. Another important thing is protecting your confidence. Sometimes people may laugh at mistakes or speak negatively. Do not let this stop you. Every skilled English speaker was once a beginner. Every fluent speaker once made simple mistakes, too. I met many learners who became afraid because of negative experiences, but the learners who continued practicing became stronger over time. Confidence grows when you continue, despite fear. Another helpful habit is continuing daily. Practice even after improving. Fluency is like exercise. If you stop completely, your skills become weaker. Even now, I continue listening, reading, and speaking English regularly. Practice keeps your mind active and sharp. Another important lesson is helping other learners. Teaching and encouraging others improves your own confidence too. I started helping beginners practice English conversations. Sometimes we shared tips and corrected each other kindly. This made learning more enjoyable and helped me grow as a speaker. Learning with others creates motivation and support. Another useful idea is creating an English lifestyle. Do not make English only a study subject. Make it part of your daily world. Watch English content you enjoy. Read about topics you love. Follow English pages online. Listen to English music during free time. I slowly surrounded myself with English in daily life. Because of this, English stopped feeling foreign. It became familiar and comfortable. Another powerful lesson is trusting the process. Sometimes progress feels slow, but small daily practice creates huge improvement over time. I remember days when I felt stuck. I thought my English was not improving, but months later, I realized how much stronger my skills had become. Language learning often feels slow day by day, but when you look back after some time, another important thing is celebrating your courage. Speaking a new language takes bravery. Every time you open your mouth and speak English, you are growing. Be proud of yourself for trying. Be proud of every small step forward. I became more confident when I stopped being ashamed of mistakes and started feeling proud of my effort. That mindset changed everything for me. Another useful lesson is understanding that fluency looks different for everyone. Some people speak very fast. Others speak more slowly and carefully. Both can be fluent. Your goal should not be sounding exactly like someone else. Your goal should be expressing yourself clearly and comfortably. Lastly, remember this important truth. You are capable of becoming a smart and confident English speaker. It does not matter where you started. It does not matter how nervous you feel now. With patience, practice, and belief in yourself, you can improve step by step. I was once afraid to speak simple English sentences. I struggled with fear, hesitation, and slow thinking. But through daily practice, everything slowly changed. My confidence became stronger. My speaking became smoother. My mind became faster. You can also achieve this. Keep practicing every day. Stay curious. Stay patient. Most importantly, never stop believing in yourself. Your English journey is not ending here. In many ways, it is only beginning. Every new conversation is a chance to grow. Every new word is another step forward. Thank you for being part of this journey with me. Keep learning, keep speaking, and keep growing stronger every day.